Yo, this is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go burying us just quite yet! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down to me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you ready? Hey, you dig it!
What is up, Cowboys Nation? Your boy Mike Tag. I'm running solo here. Hopefully, you can hear me all right. Give me a thumbs up if the audio sounds good. Sometimes when you're by yourself, you don't know. So, hey, I appreciate you guys always tuning in, supporting the channel. Been having a lot of fun. You know, Kelly K9 has been joining the show on Thursday. We're getting that thing going. Obviously, me and Jimmy D on Monday night having a great time. Got a pretty good interview. Keep your fingers crossed, lined up. It's with a Super Bowl champion, not of the Cowboys, but he played for the Cowboys. So working on possibly getting, he was a quarterback for the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, but working on that. So don't want to jinx it, but hopefully that'll be happening soon. But your boy, it's Sunday night. You know, I told you guys if you listen to the show, you know, my wife's out of town, so I'm home alone. I got to meet up with Jay Tuck down in Tampa. We watched a little bit of the 1 o'clock game. We were able to talk some Cowboys football, dropped them off at the hotel. The players' buses are pulling in. So they had a look of all business on their face and just really want to get you all's feeling. I'm wearing the jersey I'm wearing, you know, tomorrow night. It's like Christmas Day or first day of school. I might be, or Christmas Eve, I should say. I might sleep in it. I don't want all the good vibes. And make sure everything's going good. But really, what's your guys' feeling? You're seeing these playoff games. You saw the Giants beat the Vikings. You know, that was a pick that kind of a lot of people had. So that kind of sets up when we beat Tampa Bay, that puts us going into San Francisco in that next round. They played, was in a dogfight, and then you know, they pulled away. There was a key turnover. That really just changed the whole, complexity of the game and the whole, all the momentum and everything. Yeah, the Dolphins and the Bills today. I don't know who their quarterback was. Third string guy. I was almost called my wife and tell her bet the savings on Buffalo winning and covering. Listening to Uncle Cheech, of course. Thank God I didn't make that call because Miami played a hell of a game. And again, third string quarterback. You see Purdy in there, third string quarterback. You got Daniel Jones getting that playoff win. What an amazing game Saturday night with the Chargers up 27-0, and Trevor Lawrence comes back, 4 picks, turnovers. Turnovers are so critical. This is the only game I've ever seen in my lifetime in the playoffs. One of you guys correct me if I'm wrong. That a team turn the ball over that much and still won. Typically, it's turning the ball over, game's over. 100% confident. I like that, Steven. Did these games make you more confident, less confident, or it really didn't much matter? Didn't really much matter. I'm looking at these games, and it's making me feel a little better. I was feeling good already, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I'm seeing what's happening, and I'm saying, you know what? We should handle our business. There's no excuse not to handle your business. Who is that? Oh, yeah, that's true. I apologize. Eva is home. You saw the TikTok we did. She's hanging out with Pops a little. You know, sometimes, when these kids get a little older, they only want to hang out with you a little bit. But yeah, I should apologize. I don't want to disrespect my Eva. Eva definitely's home. Mikey's working, but he's home too. Tomorrow night, we're going to see Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin. So make sure if you guys are around, check that out. I know Jay Tuck. I'm going to be meeting him up there. If I don't like what Stephen A. Smith is talking about, you better believe that your boy is going to have something to say about it. So hopefully we'll have a good time there. That's going to be it's going to be interesting. Claudio, the league is rigged. So what are you saying? The league is rigged because of the penalties that you were seeing called? Because I noticed there was a terrible roughing the passer penalty in the Giants Vikings game. It didn't cost the Giants, but damn, that was terrible. Also, you know, pass interference penalties. And if there's one thing to what Claudio is talking about, if there is a concern that I do have, it's a key penalty in this game tomorrow, roughing the passer on Tom Brady, some phantom holding call, some phantom pass interference call. That's the one thing I'll say if I've got a little pause here, it's the officials dictating the game. Now, for the most part, I think in the playoffs, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen too much of it. I saw it a lot in the Giants Vikings game. The Miami Buffalo game, we were watching at a bar, so again, it's hard to pay attention there. But yeah, that's definitely, Claudio, to your point. It's definitely a concern. You better tell him to shove it. I'll tell him to shove it. I'll be telling him to be talking no smack and make sure he understands. Come Tuesday, he better pay homage to this team and show a little bit of respect for us. Because I've been sick of the disrespect. That's what I'm so happy about this game tomorrow night, because we can shut everyone up. But you know what's going to happen. Let's just be real. When we go in there, we beat them. The media is going to say, they beat an 8-win team. They were supposed to beat them. Tom Brady's not the same. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to forget all the crap they talked about all week that we had to listen to. Well, I didn't listen to. I don't pay attention to them. I only listen to the highlights. So, yeah, I'm not deaf, so I do see some of it. But, yeah, so definitely it's going to be interesting to see their reaction after we handle that business. Let's get some of these questions. The Cowboys games in prime time, phantom calls almost certain going to happen. That's my fear. And I'm telling you, it's a big worry. It's a big worry. Hopefully, we don't make it to where it even matters. But something's going to happen. We just got to make sure that it doesn't matter. Let's see here. Got another. Hey, Mike, honest question, brother. What do you think is going on with Dak's interceptions? That's a good. It's a concern. Dak's never been a quarterback to turn the ball over a lot. I mean, that's one thing I think we can all say with Dak through his years. It's never been a problem. This year, it's a problem, and that's why I was bringing up the interceptions and the turnovers in the playoffs. If there's one thing that can the great equalizer that's going to change anything, except for the Jaguars and Chargers game, it's turnovers, and we've got to be able to protect the ball. If you're looking at it, I know Jay Tuck, give a shout out to CFO Sports. He did a pretty good breakdown of Dak Prescott and some of the interceptions and some of the things he was seeing. You should definitely check out that video. I mean, ultimately, it's on the quarterback. I don't want to hear, the receiver bounced off. At the end of the day, it's always going to be on the quarterback, no matter what it is. The numbers are the same. So you can't say, well, his aren't. Well, what about the other guy's got 14? I will say Josh Allen I think he's thrown 2 picks in 6 games this year, more than anyone in the league. Media doesn't really talk a whole lot about that. So it's something that's a concern, but I think it's something he can handle. I just think he's pressing a little too much and maybe forcing a big play instead of taking what they give him. And that's what I would like to see him. I think you saw it in some of those videos that Jay Tuck was doing. The throw to Noah Brown, you had CeeDee Lamb up the middle, wide open. I mean, just got to take that. So that's one of those things that hopefully we don't. It's done. It's past us. It got it out of the system, and we don't see it, because we definitely don't want to see that. Let's see. We got man Claudia. You already know what they're gonna say. Of course. It's the way it is, man. It's the way it is. You know how they roll. That's one thing we're about, having to play against the refs, because for damn sure they're going to favor Brady. And again, that is the big concern. And I don't know about you guys. I'm hearing it from you guys in the chat, so it's definitely got to be a concern of us. One thing is, even with the picks, the amount of picks he throws, it's never costed us except for Jacksonville. That's one thing I've always said. It really hasn't. You could say maybe the Washington game, that was a pick 6. It kind of, deflated everything, but nothing was going good in that game. And I still wish they'd never even would have played their guys. If you're going to run that kind of vanilla offense, and why even bother? But no, that's true. It hasn't cost us. the thing that I was talking about with Jay Tuck today when we were watching the playoff games is Dak in this offense they've got to get started early. They've got to get in a rhythm. If you, I mean, any Cowboys fan, I mean, 10 minutes into the game, I think all of us can say, hey, we're in a lot of trouble, or hey, we're going to roll. This is a rhythm team, and it just doesn't seem like when they get out of rhythm or things are going bad, whether it be more of the offense, Dak, I mean, I don't want to put it on one person. It just seems like they just never overcome that. They never bounce back. They never make adjustments. It's all that. So it's definitely a concern. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen early. So that I'll ask another question. You guys can throw it in the chat. Is we win the coin flip? You want the ball or do you want the defense to start it off? Me, I want the defense. I want to obviously. I think that possession in the second half is important. And of course, Clarence, time to step up. We got to make it happen. And that was the other thing I saw. Dante Hall. If you guys don't remember him, if you're too young, he's a human joystick. Was a bad man with Kansas City, and he was the original. He was original. Throw up the X factor. He was the original. And I even asked him that, just joking, because I knew the answer. I said, "Hey man, is it you or Dez? Which one started?" He made sure he grabbed his phone. He said, "You watch this video." And it was Dez Bryant, on NFL Network, or they did some story. And he was talking about how Dante Hall, inspired him. And he loved when he did that, when he always had a big play. So he did take it from him. Maybe Dez took it to another level. Let's just say that. But both great players. But he was even talking noise to me, telling me that we're going to lose on Monday night. I set him straight. There was someone taking a video. Maybe it's gone viral at somewhere, but I made sure he knew who he's talking with and that we're going to handle that business. And he said he's going to be thinking of me Monday night after we lose. So I told him he'd be thinking of me after we win. And I'll be finding him. And we're going to have him maybe come on the show and apologize to me for telling me that we're not going to win the game. So definitely defense start. Doug wants the ball. He wants the offense going. The only thing that scares me with that is if we get out of rhythm, get a 3 and out, then things go quick. It makes me nervous. I think it's important for our defense to be on the field. I think there's a lot of, I never thought I would say this early on, and I don't know if you guys agree. I never was worried about our defense. I've just figured, hey, man, we're going to get this defense. The defense is handling that business, but it's just been a little shaky. And with the cornerback, situation we've had with some injuries and, not getting the sacks in the last few weeks like we have, I just think we need to get our defense out there, get some confidence, shut them down early, get the ball, score a touchdown, and just ride this thing out and just handle it from there. So that's kind of why I want to see the defense set the tone. Definitely to your point, kick it, defense, 100%. I don't know, my boys, Doug, I don't know if you're making the game or not. I hadn't heard from you. Hopefully you were able to find it, but that's what sucked about this Monday night game. It kind of ruined some travel. So if you're not there in person, I know you're going to be there in spirit. So get it back in the second half. I agree. Let's see. Let that defense set the tone. Doug, you got to take the ball a half. Yes. And the thing I'll say with Tampa, excuse me one sec. The thing I'll say with Tampa, they've played very well at the end of games. So that's why we cannot take the foot off the gas. We can't take our foot off their throat. If we're beating them down, they need to unleash it and not get conservative, not play the time clock. They need to destroy them. Now all these games, the playoff games I'm looking at, the Giants was close. Miami, like I told you, I would have bet my damn house, almost did, that Miami was going to lose and Bills were going to cover it. That was close. Jacksonville Chargers, that was close. The 49ers, Minnesota, that was close for a little while. Then it kind of pulled away and the wheels fell off of Seattle. Seattle, if I misspoke. So all the games have been tight. So it makes you think, okay, we got to get ready for a tight game. We got to make sure the Cowboys are ready to go. Look at my man Fred, Cuts by Jones. If you're looking right above my head over that way, beautiful, beautiful work he does. Family picture that we did at the Cowboys game. If you guys ever need anything special, you go to Cuts by Jones, man. He's badass. and does a great job. And he's a Cowboys fan, so you got to always support your brothers. So definitely shout out to Jones. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. We do too. We have the ability to explode in the fourth quarter. We do. We do. We also have the ability to give up some big leads. Green Bay, Jacksonville, So it goes both ways. If we could be like in the Colts game that your boy was at, then I'll feel good. And you see I'm wearing the jersey. Undefeated at a stadium with this jersey. That's why I'm wearing it. So I want to make sure I have it on Monday night. So I was beat the Bears, the Colts, Philly. So 3-0. Got the shirt this year. So 3-0 with the jersey. So I'm feeling pretty good. It's pretty much in the bag then if I'm wearing this, right? So we just need to make sure we handle that business. No doubt, man. Great stuff. Got to get them touchdown. Yeah, can't settle for field goals. We have got to score touchdowns. We got to score touchdowns, and we got to make it happen. Let's see. Miami game. That Miami game blew my mind. I can't believe. No, I mean I couldn't believe it either. It was wild. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have that third string quarterback. That's why I say, man, there's no excuses no more. This Cowboy team is built to win. Built to win now. Look at the NFC. Who are you afraid of? There's no team that scares you. None of the quarterbacks. Brady is probably going to be our biggest test in the playoffs. I mean, that's just being real. I mean, Brady has all the quarterback experience, but Jalen Hurts, 0-1. Purdy, first playoff game. Daniel Jones, first playoff game. Who else do we got in this damn thing? Purdy, no, that's pretty much it. And then the winner of our game. So, we're not going. I mean, if you look at the AFC side, I mean, you got all number one draft picks. You got Mahomes. You got all these guys. Josh Allen. We don't have that. I mean, there is no excuse for this team not to go far in the playoffs. 49ers are looking good. I mean, I'll give them that. But if you watch the game, the quarterback was good later. Wasn't great early. The pressure, that's all about how you get to the pressure. Now, they're running the ball. I would much rather, we're better matched up against Philly than we are 49ers, but you got to play them. You got to play them anyway. So pick our time and when we play them as soon as we, obviously focus on our game against Tampa, get past that one. Excuse me. Still getting over this illness, man. It's been since Christmas. But you get a lingering cough when I talk too much. Maybe I need to shut up. So let's see. Let's get in the chat, see what else you guys got. All I'm hoping, Xavier Rhodes, the answer. We talked about that today too. All we need from Xavier Rhodes is to be Anthony Brown or even better. That's a bonus. We can't have anyone giving up huge plays. That's the killer. That'll break our back. And Xavier Rhodes he's a veteran. He was a top corner at one point. He's getting a little older, but he's got that veteran presence, and maybe he can bring some calmness and stability and hold the fort down a little bit for us. And hopefully, they're going to give a little support over there. Diggs has usually done a pretty good job against Evans, but he hasn't really followed him. So it's going to be interesting to see what Tampa Bay does with the receivers. They've got weapons. I mean, their tight end, not so much. But they've got some receivers. You got Julio Jones. He's old and been hurt a lot, but I mean, he still can be dangerous. Still got to respect him a little bit. So, and of course, with Evans and Godwin, their offensive line is the problem for them. And we should be able. We're not going to get a lot of sacks. I talked about it Thursday with Kelly Kadine. We're not going to get a ton of sacks, but we just got to get the pressure. Brady's going to dump that ball or throw it away. He's only gotten sacked 22 times with a bad offensive line. That just tells you how much he's dumping that ball off. His yards per attempt is one of the lowest. So he is just dunking it away, throwing it away. So as long as we get the pressure, I think we'll be good. Let's see what else we got in the chat. How do you feel about Mike Evans saying we're simple? And Fred, I talked about that. If you listen to the whole quote, he actually was complimenting the Cowboys, but the media is always going to spin whatever they spin. I've listened to it, and he was basically, in a nutshell, saying that we don't do anything exotic. We don't do exotic blitzes. We don't do any crazy things. We line up man on man and say, hey, we're coming after you. If you're better than us, you're going to beat us, but we think we're going to beat you, and we got the better players. That's all he was basically saying. Um, so media is going to carry it and going to make it bigger than it is. Could you just chop it off after he says we're simple, and then it sounds like some bulletin board material? But I've never been big on bulletin board material. I mean, at this point in the game, if you guys need that to motivate yourself as a player and you're in the playoffs, then we probably have bigger problems. We just need to handle that business. Let's see, Doug. I see, Doug getting some love here. Let's see. What was he saying? Doug, he's better than he better be Steven because that's where Brady's throwing to. No, yeah, back to that cornerback spot. He's going to go there. He's going to test him. He's going to test him early and often, and we better make sure that we don't get into trouble because if it starts and they're getting reception after reception, then we're going to have some problems. Now I got faith in Zeke and Pollard, but I feel like we can't be running the ball on 3rd and long like we have been. The thing with Zeke and Pollard, we haven't been running the ball well the last 3 years. That was honestly one of my concerns on the offense was our inability to run the ball. Maybe that coincide with Biotish being out, or obviously Steele he's a great run blocker. You bring Tyron Smith in, putting him on the right side. He's learning that position from going from the left tackle spot. Maybe there's just a learning curve there, but we haven't been running the ball well. We got to get back to it, and we got to get back to Pollard being the explosive guy and Zeke being, the power guy. I don't want to see Zeke, going wide. That's just not his game anymore. I mean, he was a speed back in the day, but he's got a lot of miles. He's got a lot of tread on those tires. But the one thing that Zeke is, he's physical. And he can wear you down. And those 4-yard runs, 3-yard runs, 5-yard runs, 2-yard runs in the first quarter are going to turn to 7, 8, 10, 12, get Pollard out there, drop it, and then you take one to the house. That's what we need to do. We need to stick with it. Now, in the first game, and again, it was ages ago, so I hate when people compare the first game because we're a much different team, and they're a different team. But, Zeke ran the ball very well against them. I think he had 5.2 yards a carry. Pollard really wasn't in the mix like he is now. So we're definitely going to be a different team, but we've got to get back to running the ball, but we've got to mix it up. We can't be running the ball on 1st down every play either. We've got to mix it up. And, this is on Moore. Moore's got to step it up, get that game plan right. And then, Dak and the boys just got to execute. I'm blitzing more than usual if I'm Quinn. You bring up a good point. And that leads me to Parsons. What's your guys' thought with Micah Parsons? Micah Parsons, do you want to see him back at linebacker? I think they need to get him moving around. I thought it was just he's such a difference maker and an X factor that you want him around. You want him all over the place. You don't want the offense to know, all right, he's over there. We're going to move a guy in. We're going to chip him. We're going to double him, do all that. I just thought we were much better when he was all over the place and he just wasn't sitting at the side. Now, I got faith in Quinn. I mean, I got to trust that he's putting these players in the best position to be successful. Yes, please beat Brady. But I just win. Yeah, we go. Of course, we got to win. We got to handle that business. So, so I'm definitely trying to do that with Parsons. I want to get him over all over the place. Listen, Mike, he was Zeke in the regular season. For the playoffs, he's Ezekiel. We need him to be the book of Ezekiel in the playoffs. I agree. I'd love nothing more. I think I've said it. If you follow the channel, you listen to the show, I am always a fan of the running backs. Tony Dorsett, when I was a kid, was my favorite running back. Herschel Walker after Tony Dorsett. Emmitt Smith. I skipped the Paul Palmer year and went to Emmitt Smith. And then obviously, I always liked it was Julius Jones, and then it was DeMarco Murray, and you had all these guys, Marion Barber in there, Felix Jones. I've always been running backs were always my favorite players on the team, and I love Zeke. I think he's done a great job. I think he gets a lot of hate. Obviously, they tie the money to him, and I just don't understand why we care what players make. Doesn't have any effect on me. I don't think it has any effect on you. So what the hell do you care for? So it's a business decision if the Cowboys do something next year, but nothing would make me happier than see Zeke just go on one of those tears, almost like the Rams did. Nothing would be better if we see the Cowboys running game do what the Rams did to us. What was that, 2018, where they absolutely embarrassed us and ran all over the place? And it was Mike Anderson? It was one of those one of those guys. I don't know, old Bronco running back. They absolutely just embarrassed us. That's nothing I would love to see more than that, because it's demoralizing for a team when you get run on and you can't stop it. It just breaks your will, and I think that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Let's see. Talking about back to Parsons, depends on Van Der Esch movement. Him coming back. We talked about it again Thursday. And make sure you guys, if you're not subscribing, you better hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button if you're on here now too. Comment what you guys are doing, but all that stuff helps, man. Sympathetic. Be sympathetic to the cause. So, but Van Der Esch, getting him back is going to be key. I mean, he's one of those. I don't want to throw Sean Lee in there, but he's just one of those guys that he's a leader on the defense. He's a smart player. He knows where to go. He's always kind of in position. That was a big loss, and Hankins is a big loss in the middle at D tackle. Getting him back is going to be good. Getting Biotish back, obviously helping that running game and getting Zeke going and Pollard. I mean, so there's a lot of good things. We're about as healthy as can be going into playoffs, and that's why I say no excuses. No excuses for us not to win this game. If you caught the show on Thursday, we had Rock Riley on, great guest. He's a Tampa Bay radio, TV, sports reporter legend. He knows the business. He's in the locker room. He knows I mean, he said it. He goes, man, there's just no reason and no business for us to lose this game. The Buccaneers have not been good all year. You can't find a game where they look like they were a top 5 team. I could show you 5, and that Dallas at least showed that they had the ability to be a top team. So we're the better team. We just need to have that confidence. The pressure's on us. All the pressure's on the Cowboys. Make no mistake about it. That's why we got to start fast. Otherwise, the pressure just going to build and going to build and going to build. So let's get into the chats. I'll know Dallas is about it if Pollard starts. Really, what's the difference in who starts? That's really my question. They both get about 50% of the carries now. Who the hell cares which one is on the first play of the game and which one's on the last play of the game? It really doesn't matter. They're both the starters. I mean, they're both starting running backs. They both see a ton of action. So it really doesn't matter. So I don't really care which one gets the first start. Has no effect on anything. Now, if you're going to say, I want to see Pollard get 80% of the carries, all right, well, that's going to be your opinion of it. I don't know if that's the best thing for the Cowboys. I think the best thing for the Cowboys is, whatever they want to call it. I mean, I just got to go to Thunder and Lightning because that's what I always remember. But we'll see what happens. But in this league, 18 weeks of football, 17 games. If you make it to the Super Bowl, you're playing 21 games. That's 2 college seasons. Ain't no running backs going to last. You need 2 running backs. Really, you could use 3. And we got Davis, so I mean, maybe he might even see a little action. So we'll see what happens. We got a long thing here. It was when the injuries started piling up. We couldn't stop the run. Then we abandoned the pass rush. Now that we're healthy, I expect to see the heavy pass rush again. And I agree. I think we're going to get that pass rush going, but don't look at the sack numbers. Look at the pressures. Look at what we're doing to Brady, because I'm telling you, we're not going to – I mean, I hope we do. I hope we sack him 10 times. But he's only been sacked 22 in 17 games. That's barely 1 a game. So I just don't think we're going to get a ton of registered sacks. But pressures are just as good as sacks sometimes. They can create turnovers and things like that. I love that Parsons said it's time to leave their legacy. Now Parsons a leader. We need our boy. Yeah, I mean, the whole legacy talk. There was legacy talk about Dak Prescott and about this and about that. And it's no disrespect to Dak, but he doesn't have a legacy. There is no legacy. You could create a legacy now, and he's got time, but it always makes it's sympathetic to the cause. If you watched, I do movie lines, and if you watch it, it's sympathetic to the cause as a movie line. So, Steve, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but if you know me, I do a lot of movie lines, and that's what it was. And I'm trying to remember the movie. I remember the movie, but he was telling to be sympathetic to the cause. So, anyway, um, now I see what you did, Steve. You made me forget what I was talking about. Oh, legacies. So let's talk about the you can't compare Dak Prescott to Troy Aikman. Can't compare him to Roger Staubach. Their legacies are Super Bowl championships, excellence in the playoffs, winning records in the playoffs. That's a legacy. So he don't have no legacy yet. He's got to create it, and he's got the opportunity to create it. But there's no reason to put. It's the same thing with Tony Romo. Now, Dak Prescott and Tony Romo, they're probably in the same bucket right now. Oh, it's all good. I was just messing with you. I was just messing with you. It's all fun, but so there's I don't want to hear legacy talk. I want to hear us winning a game. That's why I love about Parsons talks over all this crap. The all pro BS that was an NFLPA. It was like the national championships back in the day that 15 national champions in college football. The only one that anyone ever goes by is the AP voting for the all pro, and he was first team. Him and Zach were first team. CD was second team. That's all that matters. But who cares? Who cares about any of that stuff? Let's win playoff games and get a Super Bowl. That's all anyone cares about. I don't care how many Pro Bowls is the most overrated stat. I don't care how many Pro Bowls someone's been to, especially in this era. Now maybe it'll change now that they're not doing the games anymore. You had 10 quarterbacks making the Pro Bowl team because 8 of them backed out, so you kept getting Pro Bowl guys. So I mean, it don't matter. Let's talk about winning some playoff games. It's been 27 years. It's been too long. It's been way too long. And this team has all the makings to make a run. Now, I don't know if we win the Super Bowl or anything like that. We're going to take one game at a time. But this team is better win and better go deep in the playoffs. So let's get that big W tomorrow. Sick of watching Brady beat our asses. Sick of it too. And that was the other thing. They talk about Brady's 7-0 against us. Brady's this against us. Brady's 2-0 again. It don't matter. All that matters is tomorrow. Who cares? We're 2-0 against Tampa in the playoffs. Nobody wants to talk about that because it don't matter. And you can be very selective in your stats. It's the same thing they talk about. Well, Dallas, you guys ain't won a Super Bowl. You ain't won this. You ain't won that. Well, we won 5, and only a couple teams ahead of us. We've won 35 playoff games or something like that. There's only a couple teams ahead of us. So you can't pick the history that you want to choose. If you're going to talk about history, you got to talk about the entire history. Otherwise, don't talk about the history at all. Let's talk about the future and today. And the future and today is we need to go 1-0. Season starts now. My man Frank got it right. We need to go 1-0, and that starts tomorrow. And take it from there. MVP. Well, my MVP in this game, if we win, is going to be Dak Prescott. Because I just believe the big players got to step up in big games, and the stars got to be stars. And he's a star. CD, Pollard, Zeke, Parsons, Diggs, Tank. I'll throw LVE in there. They got to play big. So it's got to be one of them. If Noah Brown's our MVP, then we're probably playing golf on Tuesday. We need our guys, and that's what hurt. If you went back to that, our last playoff game last year, the stars didn't play big. I mean, and that's just, you got to own it. And Dak owned it, and the players owned it, and they said this is going to be better. They learned from it. I think the playoffs now. Cincinnati's up 10-0. They just. Oh no, the Ravens just scored. Sorry, so it's 9-7. The time is now for these guys to step up and make it happen. And I think I think they will. Definitely. If you're in the chat, make sure you drop a like on this video. That's right. You got to drop a like on the video. Take 2 seconds, drop a like, be empathetic, my man Steve, right? Be empathetic to the cause. And definitely do that. And I appreciate it. Cowboys Canadian fans, right? They're up in Canada. My boys, I've been on their show. They do a great job. I was hoping they'd be down here in the playoffs so we can hang out a little bit. So we're gonna have to figure out a time, but definitely check those guys out. They're a lot of fun. I mean, do a great show. I mean, their graphics I'm jealous of, but I can't do that. I'm not as skilled as them. But definitely give Cowboys Can Fan podcast. Give them a subscribe if you're not already. And that's what I tell you, man. I do this for fun. I love interacting with Cowboy fans. You can see I'm just a fan. I'm not breaking down film. I'm not doing all that stuff. I just watch the game, just like a regular fan. I've been watching my whole life. Been a Cowboys fan my whole life. I just love interacting with fans, and this has been a great opportunity to meet other fans from around the world at Cowboy games, Tampa games. Your boy's going to be at Tampa. So I tell people, man, if you're there, give me a quick holler, send me a message through Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Definitely can meet up, have a beer. I'll be in lot HCC. It's a Hillsborough Community College right across from the stadium. They have a lot there, so we'll be setting up there. Just some close friends and stuff, but we'll be chilling and doing some pregame. So if any of you guys are going to the game, give me a holler. Would love to definitely meet up. And it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, show a little love to your boy. Hopefully you guys like that hype video. That was one take. And most of my videos, some people always ask me, well, what do you do? It's typically it's one take. When I'm in the cave, when I'm at the stadium, sometimes the pregame ones I have a little bit of trouble with because I'm always worried about people around me, and in the scenery that we're in, where here is more controlled environment. I'm feeling pretty good. So it was one take. Hopefully you guys like the hype video. Hopefully it got you guys going, because I can't wait for this game. I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down, and I'm going to be having a good time tomorrow morning when I'm at First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Hold on, let me mute it one more time. Excuse me, I apologize. One more. Man, God, this cough is just lingering. Maybe that means I need to shut it down. But yeah, winning the turnover battle. Again, except for that weird thing in I almost said San Diego with the Chargers and the Jaguars. That was like something you'd never seen. Listen, bro, I know you're gonna win, but my man, anxiety will be through the roof all through that game. Hopefully it's a blowout and we're not stressed. Oh, it's gonna be, yeah. The anxiety is gonna be there. The anxiety is gonna be there. Now, I think we're gonna win. I'm confident we're gonna win. I just don't think they have the offensive firepower, because they have only been putting up 17 points a game. We're gonna have to play a really bad game, and that's why I say you're gonna know it early on. If we come out looking like we did we've had 2 bad games, Washington and Tampa. I don't call the Jaguars game a bad game, the Packers game a bad game, the Philly loss a bad game, because we scored. I mean, we blew the leads in 2 of those games. The Philly game, we didn't have our starting quarterback. We obviously knew we were going to be in a little bit of trouble, but they battled back. So it was a competitive, good game. The Washington game was a disgrace, and the Tampa game, the first time, was a disgrace. If you start to see something like that coming out, then be very concerned. If we come out and we're rolling, even if it's a shootout, let's just say it's getting like 14-14, which I don't think it would be, but let's say it gets a shootout, I'd still feel pretty damn good about it, because I think the cream rises to the top and we're still a better team. So if we're on our game, they're not going to beat us. The only way they're going to beat us is if they're on their game and we come out looking like we did last week, or the first game of the season. So hopefully we'll get it. Put Stephen A in his place. I can't wait for that. Now, I don't know how they're going to set it up. I don't know if they're going to have us in a corner. I don't know if they're going to have us far away. But Michael Irvin's going to be there. So if need be, I'm going to be wearing this jersey. So you guys look for it. I'm going to make sure. I'm trying to find a way that I can stand out, make sure he sees me. But if I don't like what I hear, they may throw me out of there because I'm not going to keep my mouth shut. That's for damn sure. I'm sick of all that yapping of all these guys. I should go to all these shows. That's a crazy thing in Tampa. It is like the Super Bowl. They have ESPNs everywhere. They're doing live shows all over the place. It's a little aggravating to be a fan because they've put us in a very bad position playing on Monday night. Now, if we win, we play San Francisco. San Francisco played on Saturday. We're now playing on Monday. They're going to put us on Sunday afternoon. They're going to have 2 days advantage against us if we beat Tampa. And this goes for Tampa too. I'll just say the winner of this game, the winner of this game has to do that with San Francisco. It's a competitive disadvantage. And I just think it's all about the money with the NFL. And I'm so sick of the NFL talking about safety, talking about this, talking about that. It's all BS. All they care about is the money. I'm telling you, Tampa looks like a Super Bowl is here. Believe me when I'm telling you. It looks like the Super Bowl is here. And it's all about the money. They wanted this game by itself, put it on Monday night, let all the networks, ESPN, do all their things because it's going to be on their network. It's crazy. It's embarrassing. And the NFL should be ashamed of themselves, honestly, because it puts us at a very bad competitive disadvantage, both teams, but especially Dallas, because if they win, we got to fly back. They ain't going to get home till 3 a.m. They're not sleeping. Now it's Tuesday. I mean, it's BS. I can go on forever, but I don't want to drag it out. I won't lie. I'm scared of San Francisco. But like Rick said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I say it. I mean, I love Ric Flair, Slick Rick. You got to play him sometime, but let's just worry about Tampa, Steve. We'll worry about Tampa. Let's worry about Tampa. Let's handle this thing. Let's see. Every Thursday, there's a game. Every single player would rather never play. And I agree. And the Thursday thing I'll say is that's the regular season. They all got to deal with it. They all got to do it. This is the playoffs. And you should not be knowingly creating competitive disadvantages to teams. It's no different than the unfortunate thing that's happened with Buffalo. But now Kansas City is going to have to play a neutral game. If those two make it, they got to play on a neutral site. Where's the home field advantage? It's now in a dome. These are two outdoor teams. Now you're going to have them play in a dome. What happens to the season ticket holders? What happens to the fans? How are they going to disperse those tickets? Is there going to be a home field advantage for either one of the teams? No. And I mean, this is serious. As you guys see it, I mean, we've been waiting a long time. This is it's very hard to get to the Super Bowl. I know every year we want the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl, but it's not easy. I mean, shit, it's been 27 years. We know it ain't easy. I mean, some teams have never been. Some teams have never won. And to see what the NFL is doing, it's very disappointing. But it's all about the money, I guess. We know that. So then that's why I say don't bitch about the players getting paid, because these owners and the commissioner gets paid. They've done that all season. We played the most short weeks out of any other team in the league. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at it as far as prime time. I don't think we played on Monday once, but I know we played Thanksgiving, and they did the Thursday in Tennessee. So yeah, no, I get it. But again, the regular season I can deal with because every team's got to deal with that. But this is the playoffs, and when you have one team, Tampa or Dallas, that has to deal with a 2-day disadvantage, that's a problem. That's a problem. It's not the way but yeah, Hot Mike, did he say that? F the fans. Yeah, he probably did. I believe you, man. He probably did. He don't care, man. That guy makes some sick money. You guys worried about what these players make? Go look at what Goodell makes and then have that conversation. Landry shift tomorrow. I would love to see the Landry shift tomorrow. So it's going to be fun. I'm having it's great interacting. I'm going to leave you with it. Let's just have just a quick comment. Give me the score. Give me the score of the game. If you don't say Dallas is going to win, just say the Bucks, and I can deal with it. But let's see it one last run. Let's run this chat line, and I want to see. I want to see what you guys have for these scores. Let's see how many hours of sleep tonight. Should get 2. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm getting up at 6 in the morning, or maybe 5:30, so we can get to the convention center early. Make sure we get our spot for first take. But yeah, it's I'm gonna have to get to bed after this. That's for sure. What is it? 9:15 my time. So let's see. Let's pop these up. We got Steven, 35-21. I had it 35-24 or 31-24. I had them scoring a late touchdown to make it respectable. 36-3. My God, I'll take that. Let's see. 27-17 Dallas. That's pretty good. That goes in line with what Tampa's been putting up, and a little bit less than what Dallas has been putting up with Dak, but probably their average right now. I think the game will be similar to the last season opener. 31. The Tampons get 26. I'll take that. Let's see. We've got 27-10, 27-21. Now, I got to ask you, Jones, is that a late? Is that it's a one-score game. So do you have Dallas winning on the last possession? Do you have Tampa just scoring a garbage one to make it respectable? Curious of what your thoughts are on that one. 35-17. So I think mostly everyone in here is thinking the Cowboys are going to control it. It's going to be a game that another one. So then I'd have to ask El Rancho, Steve, that 28-21. Are you seeing, and Doug, I'll ask the same, 28-21. These one-score games, are you seeing Dallas with a last possession score, or are you seeing Tampa with getting a little garbage to make it look respectable? Because I had it 30. I had it 34-21 or 34-28 or whatever it was, and I said, like I said, I had Tampa just getting some garbage score to make it respectable. Still didn't cover the line. I think, what are we, 2.5? At least it was last time I checked. So no, good scores. Hopefully, like I said, if you guys ain't there, enjoy it on TV. It's going to be a fun game, fun time. Let's see. No, 28-14, late touchdown. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Let's see. We got this all the way. We'll be leading the game throughout. Perfect. I like it. I think we're going to beat them up. Oh, I do. I don't know if we're going to beat them bad, but I think we're going to control it, and we're going to send a message. We're going to send a message, league. And like I said, when we do, just understand, don't be intimidated by any team. I know you're not, but no reason for us to be intimidated by any team in the NFC. It's wide open. Dallas has a good lead. Bucks make a push. That's what the Bucks have been doing. I appreciate the love. Safe travels. Luckily, I don't have to travel far. It's just a 30-minute drive. So this is going to be much better. If we can get a home NFC championship game, then your boy got to fly a little bit. But we'll take it one game at a time. Let's just handle this. Dak does recent turns, make you nervous. We talked about it a little bit. It's a concern. Yeah, I mean, turnovers are so critical in the playoffs. They mean a lot, except in the Chargers-Jaguars game. But yeah, I think Dak is. I think it's going to be all right. I've got to say that he's going to control it. Will Dak have picks tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, he might have one. It just, we can't have it come at the wrong time. I mean, you're throwing the ball. I mean, it's like we were talking. Dink and Dak, everyone bitched at him. He takes more chances. When you take a little bit more chances, you're going to throw picks. The thing that we got to make sure is that he's not making bad interceptions. The Washington one I would classify as a very bad interception. Those are the interceptions that we can't have. Something that happens like in with the Giants or with the Jaguars tip ball, this or that. I mean, that can't happen. Pick sixes can't happen no matter whose fault it is. Those are that's the true killer. But hopefully he'll be doing it. And yeah, definitely shout out to Steve. A lot of Stevens. Got a strong fan base of Stevens. I gotta show some love to Steve. At least I can't mess up none of y'all's names if I see you. Great show as usual. Everybody hit that like button. Yes, I appreciate it. I'm gonna leave you with let's see. I was gonna redo my hype video and put it on here, but I forgot. So I'm gonna leave you with a fun one I did with Marcus Spears, and then I'm gonna flip it to my Vikings one, because the Vikings one, if you listen closely, if you're new and you didn't hear it, listen closely, because it says a lot about. It's almost like talking about this game pre-game, even though this Viking one was post-game. So I'm gonna double dip on Sunday night. So I'll hit this, then I'll come back. I'm gonna hit you with one more.
We're gonna handle that business. We gotta get hype. Can you feel me? Now, can you dig it?
So we got one more. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys at Raymond James. If not, your boy will be back live on Thursday. We're gonna win, so I'll definitely be back on Thursday. But there is a chance, like I said, I might have an interview before that. If I do, keep tuning on that. I'll definitely spread the word. Make sure you guys are aware. I love you guys. Greatest fan base in the world. I appreciate all the support. Make sure hit that subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. You guys know where to find me. I don't hide from anyone. So you guys have a great Sunday night. Have fun tomorrow. Be safe. You know, if you're drinking, don't drink and drive, all that good stuff. I'll be handling that business. If you're at the game, hit me up. I'll see you guys. Peace out.
I know all the haters out there are having a very bad Sunday after witnessing this beating that we are giving this 8-1 Minnesota team. I told you it was going to happen. Bottom line, we all face adversity, and it's how you respond that matters. And this team just showed you how they respond. So I'm going to keep drinking that Kool-Aid all season long because we ain't done yet. So Cowboys Nation, you get ready. Thanksgiving Day, we're back at AT&T. We're taking on those